everybody, it's Oksana, and today I'm going to show you how to wrap a itty bitty little pendant. This stone's about 11 millimeters tall, so very small, and I didn't really do anything fancy with this pendant, kept it kind of simple and clean. So here's what it looks like. So I'm using slightly thinner gauge of wire. I'm using 21, which I think is good if you're working with a smaller stone. So if you want to see how I made this, just keep watching, and as always, all the information will be listed underneath the video in terms of like wire sizes and stuff like that. So let's get started. So this is my stone. It's a tiny little rainbow moonstone. It's a little oval, and it is roughly maybe like 11 millimeters. About 11 millimeters. I have 3 pieces of square dead soft 21 gauge wire, and they are about 5 inches long. I'm taking some 22 gauge half round wire and I'm keeping it on the spool. I'm just grabbing one little end of it, and I'm holding these wires roughly in the middle, all 3 of them. And I'm wrapping a few times around to connect them. And now I'm just pressing down with my pliers. I'm trimming the wires in such a way that the ends end up on the same side, and I'm pressing the ends down. You don't have to do the same number of wraps that I did, but here's what it looks like. So this is the clean side. There we go. Clean side, little wire end side. So now you want to bend it, so the little wire end side will be the part that is touching the stone. And you want to take your stone and you want to lay it on a flat surface like a table. Just kind of press it down and bend the wires around. Let me just shift that and kind of got off center there. There we go. Nice and centered. And then these wires here, you want to just bring them together at the top like that. And you want to bend them. You want to just kind of go back and forth like side to side, and it'll create a bend like this. And now you just want to take your 22 gauge wire and wrap it around all of these wires together where they meet up. And after you've wrapped it a few times, I start with the end and I wrap the end, and then this part I'm gonna go in the other direction. So what I do is I go to the back here and I trim this little wire, and then I just take that little wire end and I tuck it away into the pendant. So here's what that looks like. I'm just going to tighten up this wrap just by pressing it down a little bit with my pliers, and then just moving it down this way. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate the front 2 wires here. And then in the back we have 2 wires on one side and 2 wires on the other side. So like this. Then I'm going to take my weaving wire, I'm going to bring it to the front, and I'm going to wrap it around these 2 wires that I brought forward. And usually for my bales, I will wrap this kind of all the way up for the whole entire bale. But this time, just to do something differently, I'm going to just wrap it 3 times and then I'm going to trim it. And then I'm going to press that little end inwards. Kind of squish that down like this. And let me just push this little end up higher. There we go. So this will be our bale. These are just little side wires. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off the side wires first, and then I'll do my bale. And you can make swirly little decorations. It's obviously a little trickier with such a tiny sized pendant. So what I'm going to do is just kind of trim it off more cleanly and make a very simple type of pendant. So I'm pressing down this way so that I can get a nice tight, you know, like if you just kind of press down like this, it ends up being a bigger loop versus if you first make like a little dent and then press down, it makes it be tighter up against the stone. So now I'm just going to trim that off on both sides. And now I'm just going to squish that down, nice and flat. And next you can either finish off the bale or put the stone in. I'm just going to go ahead and pop my stone in here. So on the back, I'm going to bend these wires a little bit to trap my stone from the back. Sorry, I'm trying to hold it so you can hopefully see. There we go, stone is trapped in the back. We're gonna have to fix these a little bit. They got moved out of place when I bent the wire. So maybe put your stone in first before you do those. And now from the front, I'm just gonna give a little bend as well. Okay, our stone should be nice and trapped. Okay, so it looks like there's this one wire that got bent out of place. Just gonna lift that up and bring that down. So I think what happened is it just kind of got pushed upwards. So I just need to trim it a little bit. Otherwise it's gonna be too long. Okay. So that is all fixed. And here is what it's looking like. So now I'm just going to make my bail. So I'm taking these wires, and you can use a little tool or like little bail making pliers to help you make this bend. I'm just kind of doing it by hand. So I'm putting it through here, through this gap. Okay, so then once they are up here, I'm just bending it to the back. Like this, and we'll just have to kind of arrange them nicer so they're more even. There we go, and then on the back you just have to trim them and leave yourself a little end so you can tuck it under there. Like that. So I'm just using my pliers to grab the little wire end, tuck it under there, and then just press it in there. And then same thing here on this side. And then you just might have to fix them a little if one of them looks higher than the other. And that is it. That is this itty bitty little rainbow moonstone pendant. And feel free to do different things up here. I just kind of wanted it plain and simple. It's so tiny. But you definitely can add like a little swirl or something. Squeeze it in there. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.